Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, well, if you're here, I'm assuming that's because you either clicked on the wrong link or you were doing a search on Bloodborne, the card game. And as luck would have it, that's exactly what we're talking about. This guy right here. I have had this game now since it first came out, I'd say 6-7 months ago, sometime in 2016. So I've played it about 10 different times. And overall, I really like the game. It's a quick game. Takes about, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes to teach it. And then each time you play it, it's probably like a half hour to play the whole game. Overall, it's not too heavy of a game. It's, there's some strategy, but there's also some luck. And there's a medium-sized amount of like different options that you can take each turn. One of the things that I have a problem though with the game is that you need 3 to 5 people to play it. So just to have some fun, I wanted to come up with a Solitaire variant, and I've played it a few different times, Solitaire, and I've filmed a playthrough yesterday, and when I was doing the editing though, it was like 45 minutes to an hour long of me just playing the game, and I don't know, I thought it was kind of boring just like watching the whole thing. But I still wanted to share the concept or the way that I would play this game, Solitaire. Stick around, check the video out, and then afterwards I'll just give you a few like closing thoughts on what I think. All right, see you in a little bit. Basically, I'm just going to walk around the setup here. So I'm doing 3 players. So this is going to be my player mat right here. And then this is going to be an automatic player and an automatic player over here. So I got Froggy and I got Ducky here to represent those players. And we're all going to start with the same traditional starter deck, which is 3 weapons, and then you got your Hunter's Dream and a transform card. If you're not really familiar with this game, or you're just looking for like a good video about the overall rules or how to play it the normal way, I'll put a link down in the description below to a video that's really good at explaining that. So this is my starter deck here. This will be Froggies and Duckies here. And what I did was I took their Hunter's Dream out of both of these. And what I'll just do is I'll say is when these guys get down to 3 health, the next turn, next card that they play will be the Hunter's Dream. In the middle here, this is going to be our monster deck. So we've got 10 cards here for 10 monsters. There's 3 bosses and 3 regulars. Let's just kind of shuffle that up. And then our final boss is going to be German or German or German. I don't know how you say that. He's the first hunter. And the variant that he says is all other monsters and bosses that enter play will have 2 additional blood echoes. All right. So let's put the monster deck like this. And over here will be, this is like kind of the Hunter's Dream area. So this deck of cards is going to represent all the upgrades that are available when you go to the Hunter's Dream. So I'll just flip over the top 3 and I'll leave this like this, and then this will come into play when the players go into the Hunter's Dream. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reveal the first monster, and it is Martyr Logarius, and it says each hunter that helps kill this monster claims an additional trophy of any type. He's a boss, and he's got a health of 13, and he is a difficulty of the yellow die. So we'll get 13 blood echoes here, and we'll just put those right there. And you can see that once this thing is defeated, anybody that contributes in the round to killing it, just like in the normal game, will go up on the trophy tracker. There's a tentacle, a skull, and a hand. We're going to all choose our action card and play it. So these guys are just shuffled up. I just randomly shuffled. There you go. All right, I'll go first so that it's blind to me. I'm going to do the Hunter's Axe. like that. And so then Froggy is doing the transform and Ducky's doing the transform. So transform to the Hunter's Axe and the Saw Cleaver. All right, next step is to resolve any instant effects. No one played an instant effect card. So now the monster is going to attack with a yellow die. And he did 0 damage. So now we get to attack in turn order. So I'm first and I do 2. So take that. Froggy does dose. And Ducky did 1. And since it's a boss, the boss is not going to escape. We just have to keep going until we kill that thing. So no one went into the Hunter's Dream. All right, so now we just go again. And I will start off by picking, I'll do the Saw Cleaver. I don't know why I'm putting my card upside down here. I'm just trying to differentiate that this is my hand and this is the played cards. Okay. Frog. Mr. Frog is doing the Saw Cleaver and Mr. Duck is doing the Hunter's Axe. All right, so monster goes because there was no instant effects. So that's a 2 and that's an exploding die. That's what that X is. So I gotta roll again. So that's 3 damage to everybody. So we're all down to 5 because we started at max health, which was 5, or which was 8. I forgot to move the first player token because we're on another round. So Frog gets to go first. They get 1. Duck gets 2. And I get 1. The monster doesn't escape. And now we do the next card. So I'm going to play my instant effect. I got to do it like that so I can read this. I'm going to play the Hunter's Pistol. Frog plays the Hunter's Pistol. Hey, we all played the Hunter's Pistol. So the first player goes over to Mr. Duck. Instant effect. If you're the only hunter to play the Hunter's Pistol, inflict damage immediately instead of on the hunter's attack step. Well, we all played it, so there is no instant effect. So that means the monster goes, rolls a damage of 1. We all go down to 4 health. And then we just go clockwise around the board. Here's 1. 1. 1. Okay. So now, let's see. We're all out of cards, so we all would have to go to the Hunter's Dream this round. So I'll put the Hunter's Dream. I'm not going to bother putting the Hunter's Dream out for these guys. That's just what they're doing. So there's no instant effects. There's no weapons. So now the monster rolls, does 1 damage. When you go into Hunter's Dream, in the regular game and the way I'm playing, in the solo variant, it's supposed to be 1/2 the damage. So it's 1 divided by 2 is a half. And then you round down or round up. For this solo game, I'm always going to round up. So 1 divided by 2 is a half. Rounded up is 1. We're at 4. Everybody's at 4, so that means you'd be down to 3. I'm not going to spin the dials because basically we didn't die. We're all going to the Hunter's Dream. So, yeah, that probably, I don't know if that made any sense what I just said, but basically we didn't die, and so now we're going to the Hunter's Dream. So first thing that happens when you go to a Hunter's Dream, you restore full health. We're all up to 8. You get to bank the blood. Okay. And then what happens is in turn order, if you're in the Hunter's Dream, you get to select an upgrade card. So I'm just going to say Ducky goes first. They're going to take this card, which is the Kirk Hammer. Does 4 damage. Just put that on theirs. So then it means that I get to go next. So I'll get my choice of the Threaded Cane. This is a 2 damage, and it says, if the monster doesn't have all the blood you should collect, take the rest from the reserve. Only claim a trophy if you take at least 1 blood from the monster. Or I could take the repeating pistol, which does 2 damage, and it says, ignore all damage inflicted on your hunter this round. So I'm going to take that one. That sounds kind of nice. And then that means by default, Froggy gets that last one. All right, just like in the normal game, you can only have a maximum of 7 cards in your hand. So we're all at 6, so that's good. I'm just gonna shuffle up these decks here. Not very good at shuffling. There we go. And then we'll just put out fresh upgrade cards in the Hunter's Dream. Move the first player token over to me, which is great because I am definitely going to play this instant effect here in hopes that I do the final piece of damage to this boss, because then I would be the only one to get the benefit of the trophy. So let's see what happens here. Frog plays the Hunter's Axe, as does Ducky. I don't know if I'm doing a really good job shuffling here because it seems like they keep playing the same card. I was the only one with the instant effect, and so if I'm the only one that plays the Hunter pistol, you do the damage right away instead of waiting. And that is the final damage, and the boss is dead. And I get to go up 1 on the tentacle, 1 on the skull, 1 on the claw. And I was the only one that did that damage, so no one else gets that. Okay. So now what we do is, no one's going to the Hunter's Dream, so we're going to reveal the next monster, which is another boss. And it says, the One Reborn. All right, well, that is basically how I do the Solitaire variant of this game. So a couple things. You know, I made mistakes when I was playing the game. Probably the biggest mistake that I would make is just keeping track of where the first player token goes. I think that's a problem anytime you play a Solitaire game, is that you find out how difficult it is to just actually manage all the pieces and all the different players when you're playing Solitaire. Me personally, when I add in like trying to film something, then it's like my brain is split in 2 different ways, and it's really easy for me to just miss like simple, obvious things. One thing that I didn't cover in the video that you just watched about the Solitaire is there's a point where, so there's a base rule in the game that says you can't have more than 7 cards in your hand. So the problem is that eventually when you're playing the game, when you go to the Hunter's Dream and you pick up you know, one of those upgrade cards, at some point you're going to have more than 7 in your hand and you need to discard. So the problem is what do I do with the automatic players, right? So Ducky and Froggy in this case, like what do I do when they get over 7 cards? So I don't think I showed it in the video, but basically what I did was I would just get rid of their starter cards. And the way that I did it was, I believe that there's 2 starter cards worth 1 point, or they do like 1 damage. There's a 3rd starter card that does 2 damage, and then there's the transform card. And that's the hierarchy that I used when I would discard a card for them. For my discards, I got to do whatever I felt I wanted to do, just like I would if I was playing against real people. So, by all means, whatever you saw wrong, just put it down in the comments. I'd love to see what people notice and just let me know. Also, I mean, just what did you think of the Solitaire variant? Any changes that you would make, things that you liked, things that you didn't like? Any questions that maybe about what I came up with that weren't clear in the video? And then lastly, like, what do you just think about Bloodborne? Do you like the game? Is it, whether it's Solitaire or where you play it with 3 to 5 people, what are your thoughts on that game? Let me know what you thought down below. To the next video, I say goodbye. Ducky and Froggy also say goodbye. And until the next one, take it easy.